Hey guys, here's a cool little video of me and Addison rolling. He's been with us for probably about, 3.5 years, getting ready to get his purple belt, just starting from the knees here. So what you can see is as soon as I touch him, I'm not really trying to accomplish anything, I'm just probing for information. I'm pushing left, pushing in, pulling, just everything to try to make him commit to some sort of way of a reaction, right? Not ever letting him be comfortable. Just right there, like you put that hook in and I'm making him pay for putting that hook in. Just never allowing him to start getting ahead, right? So right there, he tried to bring that knee in. I believe right here, I allow him to start bringing that back in to start putting that over. And now, let's see here. And now since he's checking the hip right here, oh cool, yeah, he wasn't checking the posture. That's what allowed me to come up and go over it. That's why it's so important to connect and have that posture controlled constantly. So here, starting to turn his head, getting my hip in position, right? So trying to make him look away from me, I believe. Oh, yeah. So I had control of the arm, and I'm just trying to let him have free movement, just so I can kind of play around and not just, it's an armbar that I do constantly, and I want to give him the ability to do different things so I can account for different variables anytime I roll. So right there, I'm just not letting him get him back in, just making him move. And right there, I think I'm going to get him right there with that. Perfect. Nice. So it's really important. I think when you do something, you want to allow people to move so you can start learning how to account for movement.
Absolutely.
Always.
I'm here too, by the way.
So let's see what's going on. So kind of hard to see from this angle. So I'm just looking at I'm moving my hips back, just trying to see what he's going to give me. Right there, he's smart. He's trying to get that leg up. I kind of halfway scissor sweep to make him react to put that foot in the hip there. Yeah, now, and it's always important to let your partner get ahead sometimes too. I think here, it's kind of hard to see, but got that one hand in the collar. I'm controlling his posture here. And I'm just trying to move around and be loose. Right there.
It's like you're letting him pass but not finish.
Yep.
Like he's kind of struggling, but he can't. He's got your leg, but you're never letting him really get around.
No. And right there, see, I had the triangle, I let it go to allow him to pass, and now I'm allowing him to kind of get farther and farther ahead. I think I have that one singular hook in it, looks like, But it's the same thing. I want to bug him. I'm bugging him on the neck because he's got control of the hips, so I think I have a hand in the collar, I'd imagine, and I'm not exactly sure what happened there. I think what happened was I had pressure on the choke. It's hard to see from that angle, but I think he fell over to try to loosen that pressure and give me a different angle, and from there, he evidently got his arm in between me and him, so it started giving me the back position. Oh, whoops, that's not a good idea, Addison. So right there, right, I tried to use that flipping. I believe I had a hook to move him, to make him readjust to get the back. And then when he basically gave up the mount to try to let something happen here. So I'm just kind of backing off, allowing him to kind of move his hips so we go back into the crossbody here. Just way far away from
we're just going to take a quick pause here. It'll be instantaneous in your timeline.
Sure.
But we'll zoom in and crop this a hair.
And we're back, guys. Here we go. So it looks like I have the crossbody with the arm in between. I'm just kind of playing with him, trying to get head heavy, just seeing what he's going to do. I allow him to flip me it's just important that you think of it as practice, so I want to be in as many different positions as I can. I want to allow him to have the mounted position here, I believe. Yep. And so right here, I believe I have my weight on his heel here.
Looks like it.
Yeah, it looks like it. I'm just trying to make it awkward. I'm just trying to see how he's going to react to what I'm doing. I'm trying to put him in a position where he has to. So from doing that, I believe, if I see right, you got the foot. Right? Got the foot right here, got the hook.
Halfway back.
Yeah, just looking at what I'm trying to do. So I got my hand on his back. I'm trying to pull, push, just trying to create decisions in his mind and making it really, really tough. So right here, I'm almost out the back door right here. I think, yep.
Yep, you got the underhook.
And so one thing that I'm not trying to go all the way at the back, but I made him react enough to get the hook back in again. And so now, see, constantly having head control. if he's trying to pass, right? Yep, perfect. I allow him to stand up just to kind of work a little bit on this situation too. So it's the same thing. And that small movements is the key and the crucial point. Like if I move too much, it's tough.
Man, he did this to me too. He's really good at working on controlling that femur with his shin.
Yep, he's getting really good at that.
And that kind of helps you. We always talk about the end of the stick.
Yeah.
And getting past the guard, getting past the foot, the knee, the thigh, and the hip. And once he cuts it off like that, it's hard to.
He's doing really
hard to
good.
recover.
Man.
Yeah.
He's a tough kid.
Gonna be a technical dude. We always call him a kid. I think he's like 25.
Yeah. That's it. Well, I guess compared to us.
Compared to us.
So see, I let him pass, and so with me, I tend to have a kind of a bad right shoulder, so I give a little bit of an angle, so I take away his ability to really have a chance at hurting my shoulder just from like this stretch. So I'm just kind of messing around with what he's trying to do. He left his arm out, so I grabbed and controlled his arm right here like this. And I was just trying to, I think I have his arm in between both of my legs, and I'm just trying to see what he's going to do. We're just playing around here, right? So connecting to his knees, he's making more space. Every time he makes more space, I start straightening my line and starting to get my knees back in between. There we go. Very tough to do when it's somebody's shorter, so you kind of have to make those adjustments to be able to get to that position. Yep, so now I'm kind of letting him like go around the corner in the back, letting him have like some back control kind of idea right there from the crossbody. He gave me too much space, so I started getting back up. So now I'm just trying to let him play too.
Yeah, you always do this great thing there, like you're talking about protecting your shoulder, where it invites the person to go for it, but then you turn back the other way, and it creates so much leverage. It's like a jab cross because you're twisting your hips. It's really hard to do anything with.
And this is really important too, right? Like and Joe did it too in his video, where you let that guy. Look how far ahead I let him get on me right here. I let him get both his feet are on my hips, so he took away my hips, and I'm just trying to figure out different ways. So now you see how he's really isolated out that arm, and I'm using that and just trying to figure out ways to make him really, really off balance here and awkward right there. Yeah. So I'm using that right hand to start pulling and pushing on from his lower back to make it really tough for him to be able to finish anything, because he's always looking for base and balance right there.
Poor guy, he was so close.
He was. And so this is an interesting situation too. It's just I'm always allowing like different angles to happen, like trying to be comfortable with being off balance and allowing like my timing to do a lot of the work for me. So right there, I just kind of give him the ability to come back up. I don't worry about finishing anything, and I give him a position where he's almost has the pass. There, yeah, I can't see it. My right leg is down. I'm just kind of holding on to his heel, just seeing how he's reacting. I'm kind of turning his heel just to make it awkward. Made it awkward enough to where I was able to get out the back door there.
Forced him to turn.
Yeah, forced him to turn. Just putting torque on his.
It's like a wrist lock. You.
Yep.
Start twisting the ankle. You gotta go with it. In a nice way.
Yeah. Never trying to hurt your partner. You never want to do that. See what's going on there. Really just kind of letting him play around, seeing what he's going to do with my hip. Right?
We're going to zoom it out here in just a second.
Allow him to off balance me.
Yeah, there we go. Full frame.
Yeah, just messing around. That's the whole idea about being playful, is like allowing the other person to have success too, and just trying to find different avenues.
Well, and it's playful, but you can see he's like, he wants to mount, but you're making it so awkward for him.
Yeah.
That it's like a constant struggle. And when you feel that struggle, you're just like, why can't I get there?
This is actually one of my favorite 1-2s right here. So basically what happened there, I don't think I got it clean this time, but what happened there was like, it's almost kind of like an X guard. He stood up without having control, so I was able to make him do the splits and make him fall. And so when he came over, I ended up in a stack pass, right? And so instead of trying to smash him, I'm just trying to see how far ahead I can get him, because like how he's reacting. So his reactions are what's killing him right here. So he's just playing around, just trying to get head heavy, seeing how he's going to move his body, allowing him to get back up on top. Just trying to get as many positions in as I can so we can practice a ton.
Oh man, you got that half guard choke coming out.
Yep.
Used it to take his back.
Yep. So I'm just kind of getting control of both sides. Starting to like mess with his neck a little tiny bit, I think. Just seeing how he's going to react. Yep. So I messed the neck on that side to clear that side to get the choke right there. He tried to react, allowed me to bring the leg over, and I started retaining the mounting position. But yeah, he's smart. He's really smart because this is realistically, to get to the level that he's at, you have to approach it from a white belt perspective. Like if you roll where you're allowing your partner to have success, even like you start that like early, by the time you hit mid blue belt, late blue belt, you can be really, really advanced.
You got some moves.
Yeah, you got a lot of moves and a lot of theory behind your moves.
And you're calm.
Yep. And so that pays off. It definitely pays off in the end, right? If you're just trying to be aggressive, you never really have a true understanding of like any position.
And it pays off for this guy.
Yeah.
But it pays off for everybody else in the gym too.
100%, man. And everybody wants to train with Addison.
You got him with that inverted.
Yeah, everybody wants to train with Addison because like
so technical.
Yeah, so technical.
And friendly.
Yep.
And I guess he's durable. He comes back for this punishment.
He does.
It's a rough day.
He does. And so see how I just give him side control. I let him, and I'm not trying to like just immediately escape. I'm letting him try to move, try to further the position. I'm letting him do a lot of things. I'm letting him have the underhook here. I'm just seeing how he's going to react right here, right? So he's trying to use the crown of the head, right? Just trying to crowd him, make him feel like he just has to move, making things happen here.
And you're going back to your go-to of turning away from him.
Yeah. And even there, you see how like I start trying to go belly down just to create ways of seeing how he's gonna react to that.
Yeah. So he tried to sit down.
Yeah. So now we have that video on that head and arm control. I think I'm kind of basically doing that at this point right here.
Mm-hmm.
Getting an angle, just seeing how he's going to react. I think there we go. So just by being calm and making him have different feels, you can see how like it's very tough for him to be in a situation where he's able to just do attack, because I'm always like pulling on something and pushing on something.
Right, you're being nice to him, but you're not letting him finish the transitions.
Yeah, that's
Tater sour thing.
Yeah, that's it. So he went back, which allowed the knee to come in there. So it's just
Master Sauer's always saying, you let everybody start the move, but don't let them finish
it. That's right. Yeah.
And this is it in practice.
Yeah, and I used to always like use the analogy of like, think of like you're painting a picture with somebody. You don't want to have all the input. If you're trying to do things, you want the other person's input as well. And so that's really what you want to do when you train. Because then, if you spend all your time rolling like that, nobody will ever be able to do anything to you that you haven't seen, or that you wouldn't be able to see coming. It's very tough. So just putting pressure on his bicep, looking like what he's trying to do, how he's going to react to that, allowing myself to move my body. He has both hands, so if you look at this, it's a really important thing too. Anytime anybody has two hands, especially when they're on their knees, it allows me the ability to start putting that arm in the collar and looking for the choke. So if I can, I don't know if I do this, but if I get him down, see how, yep, it gave me a little flip right there. Just tough. Hard to keep track of all that stuff.
Because the two hands are committed to the same job.
So
he's trying to hold your foot.
Yeah. And see how I get really, really head heavy just seeing how he's going to adjust. And it makes it very tough for him to flip me. And because of that, he ended up in the mounting position.
Tripod.
Yeah. Just making those hips as light as possible. I allow him to roll me over. And that's the whole thing. It's like you can do hours of rolling like this. You know what I mean? A lot of gyms you'll see where people roll for like 4 or 5 minutes and they have like a timer and timer and timer and timer and timer, and you don't have these super long rolls like this. So like, when you roll like this, you could roll for hours and hours and hours on end.
Yeah, and actually we did. We filmed these back to back.
Yeah,
so I
that's
think
right.
both of us were rolling with Addison
Yep.
for half an hour or more.
Yeah.
And he did the whole shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like
in the mask, folks.
And he wasn't breathing heavy or anything like that. Now there was something that he did there that gave me the arm lock right there. I allow him to put the elbow out right there, and I allow him to pass.
You got him though.
Yeah.
It's funny though too, because if you roll, people see this kind of rolling, if they've never experienced it, and they think, oh, I would do this, I would get out of it, I would just move athletically, and it just doesn't work.
Nope.
If you watch like Hodger Gracie compete, he's moving at the same pace, even while people are spazzing out and trying to explode. So we're coming up on the end here. Got about a minute left, guys.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, and we always talk about this with Joe too. I'm like, imagine what would happen if people viewed striking in the same way, like being friendly, like being playful, allowing the other person to like have success too. Imagine how good people would get. There's very few people that have the ability to do that. It just doesn't happen.
I think the most professional places I've been.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that was our roll with Addison in the bubble.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you got like any questions or like, it's interesting. I've just never seen it before, so it's pretty cool. Watching Joe too was really cool.
It's immortalized now.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Warriors, we'll catch you later.
All right. Warriors out.